don't have any intro music yet, so just pretend it's here. A great big hello to everyone watching this. I'm Allie B. Mack, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about what might be the cheesiest Christmas movie of the year, A Christmas Prince: The Royal Baby. It's a Christmas special that you can find on Netflix, and is technically the third in the Christmas Prince series, but if you didn't watch the first two, honestly, don't worry about it. They're not really that relevant at all, and honestly, I didn't really watch them either. So before we get started, I wanted to point out that I've actually never done a video like this before, so I wanted to let everyone know that this is all in good fun. You know, this is just, it's not a movie you're really supposed to take seriously anyway. I know that, and if you like this movie, you know, more power to you. If this is your thing, go for it. I absolutely do not want to yuck your yum. However, my thing is making fun of cheesy movies, so with that in mind, let's get into it. Like I said before, this is the third movie in this series. Luckily for us, it opens with a "the story so far" montage. First movie. The story opens with our main character, Amber, an underappreciated wannabe reporter who sent on her first ever assignment to cover the royal family of Aldovia.
The king died last year, and the prince who's supposed to take over is a total flake.
They need a butt in the big chair by Christmas Day.
But if the prince is MIA, then what happens?
That's exactly what you're gonna find out.
During the course of her investigation, if you can call it that, she bumbles her way into going undercover as Princess Emily's tutor. Because of this, she gets really close to the royal family. She bonds with them. They love her. Her and the prince have a romantic connection, but oh no, she's hiding a big secret. Whatever will happen. Their relationship, however, is damaged when the prince discovers the truth that she's actually an undercover reporter who's doing a terrible job and hasn't reported really on anything. Oh no, who could have seen that coming? While that's going on, a problem with succession also pops up.
Well.
This documentation states that Prince Richard is in fact adopted.
And for some reason that disqualifies him from being king. Also, Princess Emily, who is the king's biological daughter, can't inherit because of sexism, and that's kind of just hand-waved away. The main antagonist of the movie is cousin Simon, who is challenging them for the throne. Amber ends up using her questionable investigative reporter skills to uncover the fact that before the king died, he wrote a secret royal proclamation saying that his son could in fact inherit despite being adopted. This brings up a lot of questions, because not only did this asshole write the proclamation in secret, but he hid it in a Christmas acorn ornament. I just don't understand. Hey, my dude. Hey, dude. Maybe just maybe, make it legal. You're the king. You can do whatever you want. Why did you make it some sort of stupid, twisted game and cause your family a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering and put your country through a tumultuous power grab? What is wrong with you? They keep talking about what a great king this dude was, but honestly, I'm glad he's dead. Was that too harsh? Anyways, Amber exposes the truth. Prince Richard becomes King Richard. He proposes to Amber, and Amber accepts despite the fact that they've known each other for less than a month. All is well. Movie 2. In this movie, they're preparing for a Christmas wedding. The main conflict is that Amber feels like they're trying to stifle who she is, and they just won't let her be herself.
I didn't realize that becoming part of the royal family meant having to give up who I am.
For instance, one horrible thing they do is that they don't want her to wear a necklace for the royal portrait, which is so horrible. How dare they not let her wear this very important necklace, except she can put it on right after the portrait's done, so. She also feels like they're stifling her vocationally because she's an investigative reporter. Damn it, why won't they let her do her job?
I never agreed to my work being censored.
Except she's not doing investigative journalism. She's writing a blog, and a mediocre one at that.
Do you really think that this is the sort of image the royal family should portray?
I know this aligns me with the antagonist, but I think I agree with them. A queen writing a blog is a little bit tacky. Also, there's a plot about how the kingdom is bankrupt and their economy is in the trash. Amber finally uses those investigative reporter skills we've been hearing her brag about so much, despite the fact that she's never really written a story. All she did was solve one crazy old dude's random acorn puzzle. But anyways, she uses those quote-unquote skills to uncover the fact that the prime minister has been embezzling from the country. So he's deposed or whatever, and then because of this, Richard's oh, I'll never stifle you again, you can do whatever you want, even though blogging and investigative journalism are so very different, but whatever, it's fine.
I'm so sorry. I need you, Amber, and Aldovia needs you too.
Do you, King Richard, take the beautiful Amber Eve Moore to be your bride?
I do.
They get married and they live happily ever after. Also, I forgot to mention that evil cousin Simon from the last movie who tried to steal the throne is now reformed and is flirting with Amber's friend Melissa. On to the actual movie. It begins with Amber typing away in her mommy blog, or mommy to be blog, I guess.
Loyal readers, my favorite holiday is just around the corner. Christmas means joy, excitement, family, love, and lights.
Yeah, she's still not any good. Also, I just noticed this, but if you take a look at her blog's logo, it literally has a crown over the first letter of her name.
It also means my first year as Queen of Aldovia is nearly under my belt.
Which is like, fine if you're a normal human being or if you're an actress playing a Disney princess, but like if you're actual royalty, it looks pretty trashy. I also ended up looking around online to see if Netflix had made a companion website that was like her actual blog online. Back when The Office was still on, www.creedthoughts.gov.whatever used to be a functioning website. I don't think it works anymore. I know Walter White's website to raise money for him having cancer from Breaking Bad is still up. Parks and Recreation made a PawneeIndiana.com website that you can check out. The show Sherlock, which I know has fallen from grace, had a website that was supposed to be John Watson's actual blog with comments from other characters in the series. Netflix, on the other hand, has no such thing, either because they couldn't be bothered or because they don't want us to know how bad her writing really is. Give us the blog, you cowards. We find out that everything is basically going completely perfectly, like they somehow magically fixed the economy all in 1 year, and in one throwaway line, we learn that they also ended the sexism problem with the line of succession.
You've updated Aldovia's line of succession to include females. Does that mean it's a girl?
It means that we are hoping to bring Aldovia into the 21st century culturally, just as the new Aldovia initiative has done economically.
I'm proud of them and all, but if it was really that easy, it only makes the previous king look like a bigger piece of garbage. The press doesn't care about the economy, they only want to know about the baby.
Now, are there any policy questions? Economic queries? Foreign affairs? No?
About the baby? Do you have any names to share?
No!
They're very coy about sharing the name, which I kind of get, but it makes me worry that it's going to be something terrible like Renesmee.
Will you at least tell us the baby's due date? January the 11th.
Right, yeah, no, I'm sure everything's gonna go perfectly according to plan, and she's definitely not gonna end up giving birth on Christmas. After the press conference, the family is decorating the tree together, and people are suggesting baby names, where we get this gem.
For a girl, I say Khaleesi.
Oh no, baby, what is you doing? Someone didn't watch the last season of Game of Thrones. Okay, as an aside, I just looked this up, but in the year of our Lord, 2018, and 2018 alone, 560 little brand new baby girls were named Khaleesi. First of all, that's not her name, motherfuckers. That's her title. You might as well have just named your daughter Ruler of the Seven Kingdoms. Hello, my name is Dumbass, and I would like to introduce you to my child. This is my pride and joy, Mother O' Dragons. I know, but she was born in 2018 before the final season. Well, I guess it also is that too. I have a lot of questions. Burn them all. That's my little girl, just like her namesake. I gotta go. Think about all those people who are going to have to explain that to their kid when they ask about the meaning behind their name for their second grade class project. And even if the books manage to redeem her and don't turn her into a total dumpster fire of a character, your kid's gonna know how to Google. They're gonna find out. I got a hot tip for all you future parents out there. Maybe, just maybe, wait till the series is over before you name your kid after one of the characters, just in case they end up being medieval fantasy Hitler.
Hermione is lovely as well.
Okay, scratch that. Maybe wait till the author is dead, because if they're still alive, there's a chance they could tarnish their legacy with some other dumb bullshit. Anyways, cousin Simon is chilling with them, and other than a couple pointed comments, they're treating him pretty well.
Not nearly as unsettling as your continued presence.
Yeah, this man tried to steal the throne. Amber's friend Melissa shows up, and she thinks it's to surprise her. She would be wrong.
That's not actually the surprise. Simon's invited me to stay through Christmas.
A fabulous idea, if I may say so.
Well, that's awkward. Then we get another awkward moment. Watch her eyes in this next scene.
So, are you daddy ready?
Getting there, I think.
If you missed it, let me play it back for you one more time.
So, are you daddy ready?
I see you, Melissa. I see you. Then we see them doing normal couple stuff to prepare for the baby. Almost too normal, though.
Classical music makes everybody smarter. Which I need to be to build this crib. The instruction manual's more complicated than differential calculus.
You're telling me that the prince, I'm sorry, not prince, that the king of this country is going to build his own baby's crib, like, with his own two hands? Not only that, but you're telling me that the king bought his baby some cheap-ass IKEA furniture? There's no, like, royal bassinet or anything like that? There's a lot of things you can do to be involved in your baby's life that don't necessitate you physically building a shitty crib. But whatever, they're down to earth. They're not like other royals. Other royals are concerned with unimportant things, like making sure their country doesn't starve. Stupid. The royal couple FaceTimes Amber's dad, who runs a diner in New York. They FaceTime him several times throughout the movie, which I could forgive if every single FaceTime conversation wasn't like the awkwardest thing on earth. And then we have this weird moment of them staring at their own faces in the iPad that definitely should have been cut.
Ow.
It's just so awkward. And the dad talks and acts like a caricature of a New Yorker.
So I can stay from the baby shower all the way until little Rudy's birth.
Pardon me?
Oops, sorry. Prince Rudy's birth.
Pop.
Hey, I'm just saying.
What's with the fucking face, dude? Hey, I'm walking here. Stupid fucking face. And all of the laughs are forced as hell. Not only that, but the dad affects the plot so little that they could have killed him off screen and it wouldn't have made any difference. Honestly, it's pretty clear that they just needed something to pad out the runtime, since the movie itself, with all of these unnecessary scenes that lead to nothing, is only 80 minutes long. A doctor comes to the castle to give Amber an ultrasound and they go over their birth plan.
Avoid special as much as possible. And Queen Amber needs her rest and relaxation. Nothing more.
And the doctor will definitely be there in time for the birth. There's not going to be some sort of weird plot contrivance that delays her in any way. This movie jumps all over the place because in the next scene, we're randomly in a sleigh ride with Richard and Amber and they're arguing about how to raise their baby. This is another one of those plots that ends up going nowhere, but I just wanted to take a second and say, hey, dum-dums. This is what happens when you get engaged after only knowing each other for 1 month. But since the movie doesn't consider this scene important, neither will we.
That turned out all right.
So did I.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree. And with absolutely no preamble, we are dropped into a different scene. This time, Richard and Amber are getting a history lesson on what is going to be the main plot of this movie. However, before that happens, let's just get a little bit of irony in there.
The rest of the year will be dedicated exclusively to the preparations for the birth of the royal baby.
Yeah, definitely. Don't worry about it. You're definitely not gonna have your baby till January. It's gonna be fine. Now I'm gonna let the characters explain the history lesson to you. Exposition time!
It was a fearsome and brutal war with no end in sight. Finally, on Christmas Eve, 1419, Prince Claude of Aldovia and Prince John of Penglia, inspired by the season of peace and goodwill, found a way to end the conflict.
At certain points in this movie, you can feel where the budget was tight, so the scene took me by surprise at first. Then I realized they just probably had a bunch of leftover props from their last Christmas special. You know, a couple hours left on the rented horses, etc.
On that fateful Christmas Eve, 1419, the truce was declared and the treaty signed.
The treaty, Your Majesties.
To honor the peace and friendship between our nations, the treaty has been ceremonially renewed every 100 years since without fail.
Wow, look at that treaty. Looks super good. I'm sure nothing bad'll happen to it. I know I'm not a museum curator or anything, but I just gotta say, my dudes, you gotta be more cautious with this thing. Like, you're just touching this with your bare hands. We have way more stringent guidelines for taking care of the Declaration of Independence, and that is only about half the age of this treaty. That's fine, just get your little greasy fingerprints all over this document, why don't ya? And Amber's got a new idea.
I'll be the first queen to sign it.
You will indeed.
As long as the royals from Penglia agree.
The Penguins are our closest allies, but in many respects, they are quite traditional.
Traditional, a word here meaning sexist. Honestly, it would have been interesting if they had Amber, like, go up against a real conflict, like actual sexism, but this movie is too chicken shit to do that, so they kind of go halfway, and it's just not very good. Time to meet the royals. Queen Ming steps out of the car smirking a little bit, and Amber instantly becomes like weirdly defensive. Made sense if Queen Ming was like a foot away from her staring in that way, but it zooms out and we can see that they're actually like 30 yards apart. How can you judge her facial expression from that far away? How do you know that's aimed at you? Maybe she'll be rude or snobby to you in a second, but right now you're getting pressed for literally no reason. Right before meeting the royals, Amber is told this.
Once they exit, meet them in the center. King Richard will give the formal greeting.
A couple of seconds later, they go to introduce themselves.
Welcome to Aldovia.
A most hearty welcome.
Amber! What did she just say? There's a huge difference between not having an innate knowledge of royal customs and stuff like that and having the memory of a goldfish. They just make her look stupid and not in an endearing or relatable way. Honestly, how has she survived this long? She's just lucky it wasn't something more serious. Queen Amber, today I'm going to teach you about a sacred Aldovian tradition. It involves this object right here. It may look like a mint, but it is most certainly not. It is incredibly poisonous. You shouldn't even touch it, let alone eat it. And are you listening to me? Yeah, no touching. Got it. All right, just I'll be right back. Again, do not touch this. I'll be gone for just a moment. Yeah, I heard you the first time. It's fine. Just go. All right, I'll be right back. Ooh, a mint. Uh-oh. All right, I'm back. Oh my God. Oh, for fuck's sake. We are also introduced to Lynn, the attaché to the Penglian royals. She's set up as Melissa's romantic rival for Simon's affections.
Lynn? Fantastic.
I know we're supposed to be rooting for Melissa, but honestly, there was more chemistry in that one wave than there has been in every single interaction between Melissa and Simon. I don't want to be like super mean, but I think maybe Melissa's actress isn't the strongest. Then there's a party. There is a romantic subplot with Princess Emily that doesn't go anywhere. I don't even think that the boy's name is spoken throughout the entirety of this movie, so I don't care.
We have quite a bit of mistletoe too.
Also of note, her wedding planners from the last movie arrived to help her plan her baby shower.
Your Majesties.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Andy, hi! Sahil!
They kind of become major characters, but it's weird because they're so completely irrelevant. Like, if they hadn't been brought into the movie at all, nothing in the plot would have changed. Then we get our royal couple doing more inane baby prep.
Testing. Testing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You're really telling me that you couldn't have sprung for one that was already set up? So Richard is messing around with the two-way baby monitor, and we get this very weird scene. I want to be clear, in it, Amber knows that her husband can hear her.
Can you still see me? Amber, hello?
This is unbelievable.
Can you hear me? Amber, hello? Are you there?
I need a little help.
Is that fine? Amber?
Really? You couldn't get your slipper back on? I would understand if it was a normal shoe. I've heard that's hard for pregnant women. You don't have to reach your slippers, you just have to put your foot down. You could have put her in any other kind of shoe and this would have made sense, but instead you had to make her look like an idiot.
What is it?
I can't even reach my own slippers.
The Queen of Aldovia, everybody. Then we get some dude who's looking like Fezzik from The Princess Bride who comes in and messes with the treaty. Shocking, the treaty wasn't safe in this unsecure room. Honestly, if this dude hadn't gotten to it, maybe the temperature or humidity or any other number of factors would have destroyed it first. There is a horrible snowstorm and the roads are blocked. Now it's time for the treaty signing. We're told that the Penglian Queen did not approve of the two women signing the treaties along with their husbands.
As expected, the Penglians have officially rejected either queen signing the treaty.
I'm sorry.
Don't look so sad, Amber. I have a feeling it's not going to matter in a few minutes. Ming! Who could have predicted this?
Where's the treaty? It's supposed to be there.
The movie does this a lot. Whenever there's like a major revelation or plot twist, they have other characters repeat what happened 3 or 4 times just in case we didn't catch it the first time, or the second time, or the third time.
No one has come or gone since the blizzard.
So the treaty must still be in the palace.
Along with whoever took it.
Now it's turned into an incredibly cliched whodunit. To be fair, they needed some excuse for Amber to use her investigative skills. To distract the Penglian royals, they decide to play a game.
Is this some kind of game?
Top of the Tree, a classic Aldovian Christmas game. 2 teams compete, the goal being to decorate your side of the tree first.
The team that places the star on top of the tree wins.
Ornaments are awarded for answering questions about famous royal traditions and legends.
I was so sure that this was going to be a merchandising plug for Netflix that I Googled it. Turns out it does not already exist. I'm sorry, Netflix. I should have given you the benefit of the doubt. I guess I've been ruined by years of Hallmark commercialism. If you replace Aldovian trivia with like Christmas movie trivia, I think this would actually be really fun. Now I want to buy it. Meanwhile, Amber and Richard are hard at work.
You're proposing we draw up a list of suspects?
Investigative journalism 101.
Hey, Amber, you don't need to be an investigative journalist to know that you need a list of suspects if you're trying to figure out who committed a crime. Just as a general FYI.
Did you notice the look that Simon and Lynn exchanged when the treaty went missing? And Sahil called it tacky. I wouldn't put it past him.
I'm sorry, Amber, Miss Investigative Journalist. Did you just say that you think someone risked going to jail because they thought a piece of paper was tacky? I can't with her.
Who in this palace had the means, the opportunity, the motive?
Oh, I know this one. It was Mrs. Peacock in the library with a candlestick. Oh, wrong game. Later on, Amber and Melissa talk. She tells Melissa her worries that maybe Simon stole the treaty. Melissa defends him, but this scene right here is part of the reason I almost want him with Lynn instead, because she is just so unconvincing.
He's really smart, funny, super cute, and really misunderstood.
Mel, all your bad boys have left you heartbroken.
He's more than just a bad boy.
Okay, but he's not a bad boy. Not like in any sense of the word. He tried to steal the crown. He's not like a cool dude who rides a motorcycle. It's worrying to me that you 2 adult women don't know what a bad boy is.
He cares about me. It's starting to feel real, you know?
Well, based on your acting, you could have fooled me. Meanwhile, we learn about a curse surrounding the treaty.
Mother, did you read this? If there comes a day the sacred truce is broken, the kingdom disrupting the peace shall suffer a dreadful fate. Upon the firstborn a beshrew. What's a beshrew?
It's a curse. People believed in things like that back then.
How did it work?
A sorceress would conjure a spell to ensure that the 2 kingdoms upheld the treaty.
So if we don't sign the treaty by Christmas Eve, there'll be a curse on the firstborn child. That's Amber and Richard's baby.
No, really? That firstborn Aldovian royal baby? The queen tells Princess Emily not to bother Amber about this because it's stupid. Cut to Amber and Richard.
I may be expecting and queen, but I'm still a journalist.
Are you, though? You know you were never really a journalist in the first place. I mean, you failed your first assignment. Amber decides to use these keen skills to investigate Sahil's room. Almost immediately, she's discovered by his partner, Andrew.
Hi, Andy, Andrew?
Amber.
Okay, Amber, here's your chance. Show off your investigative reporter skills. Flip it back on him. Treat it like an interview.
Is Sahil in here?
No, I was just helping with the search. Sahil called the treaty tacky. I went too far, don't be mad at me.
Mad?
Okay, don't know why I expected anything different. Andrew tells Amber that Sahil would never risk his multi-million-dollar business over this treaty. And Amber, being the great investigative mind that she is, believes him instantly and without question.
Once Sahil gets in the zone.
He didn't take it.
You know what, Amber? It's okay. Shake it off. Investigations have a lot of dead ends. The important thing is that you keep going.
You're right. I don't need to focus on this missing treaty.
No, you absolutely don't.
Okay. Then Emily comes in and is a giant blabbermouth.
If the treaty isn't signed in time, by midnight Christmas Eve, it takes effect.
Why are you putting stock in this nonsense?
It's a curse on your firstborn.
On this baby. Our baby.
This movie doesn't trust us one bit. And if you don't fulfill the conditions, your baby will be cursed. This baby? My baby? Will be cursed? Yes, I'm terribly sorry. I know it's so scary and— You mean my baby? In my belly? My child, the one that I have been carrying in my womb, the seed of my husband, the one that is made of my egg and his sperm. We then get one of the funniest this character is having a nightmare sequences that I have ever witnessed.
A curse upon the firstborn, upon the firstborn, upon the first.
She looks like a little raccoon rooting around in the trash. Because she's been awakened by her nightmare, she decides to do some research.
You know that there was a love triangle between Prince Claude and Prince June over Claude's newlywed, Princess Jocelyn? Soon after the royal treaty was signed, Prince Claude was poisoned. Many believed Prince June did it. The House of Devon, Claude's family, fell out of power, and Claude's descendants swore vengeance. Devon. Why does that name sound familiar?
The scene is going to come into play, but I literally searched the entire script and the name Devon has not been mentioned before this moment. So if she knows something, we as the audience do not. When movies are supposed to be whodunits, stuff like this, where it would be impossible for the audience to solve it, kind of makes it boring. The reason that kind of story is compelling is that all of the clues are laid out in front of you, but they're hard to put together. Then when the detective or whoever manages to do it, it seems impressive, and if you manage to do it, you're very proud of yourself. But if they're privy to a bunch of information that you could have never known, then what's the point? We see the Penglians walking in the snow. We learn the consequences of what happens if the treaty isn't signed.
If we don't stay to sign the truce treaty, our kingdoms technically return to a state of war.
And Lynn floats an idea.
What if the Aldovians orchestrated this on purpose?
They want the treaty signed just as much as we do.
Unless it's a way for them to force an unfair renegotiation of terms.
Renegotiation under duress? No.
This is where it started to bother me. I know this artifact is important, but you could just sign another treaty with the exact same terms. That way you wouldn't have to literally go to war. But for some reason, this idea doesn't occur to literally anyone. The Penglians are then given an invitation to Amber's baby shower, and I just need you to take a look at it.
An invitation to attend.
My dudes, listen, I know the royal calligrapher is like out of town or whatever, but look at that fucking font. That's the font I chose in 3rd grade to try to make a paper seem fancy. And it looks like it's on basic white printer paper. I could do a better job of an invitation in less than 5 minutes, and I don't have any servants or a person whose job it is to literally coordinate parties. Let's set a timer. Do a better job with more time, but I just don't care enough, and clearly neither do they. Flash forward to the baby shower.
Wow. Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
Is it just me, or is this place decorated like a high school prom rather than a royal event? We then get a montage of like bonding and baby shower games that honestly goes on way too long. We also learn why Ming doesn't want to sign the treaty.
He is the only leader Penglia needs.
But he's not the only leader Penglia has.
You and King Richard are truly a team. I do admire that.
I think you deserve more credit.
Credit is not something I seek.
I'm happy for Ming to sign, but she's worried what our people will think if she seeks credit, despite all she does for Penglia. Aldovia has embraced Queen Amber. Penglia adores Ming. She deserves her due.
Really? That's it? Obviously, this is a cheesy movie, so we know it's all going to be resolved in the end, but honestly, it's a little bit insulting. This supposedly incredibly intelligent leader doesn't think that she deserves any of the credit for her accomplishments because she's a woman, but for some reason, 3 magical days in the Christmas kingdom are going to change her mind? Okay. We also learn of another time where there was an incident with the treaty.
This isn't the first time the treaty's disappeared.
It's not.
200 years ago, there was another incident here in Aldovia. The thief made off with the treaty, but was caught red-handed. Spent the rest of his years locked in a dungeon.
Princess Emily, please don't fret. I have never heard of such a legend.
And nor have I.
I have. They told me that the ghost of that wretched thief still roamed the darkest depths of the dungeon, searching for his coveted prize.
I've never heard such nonsense.
Neither have I, Your Majesty.
I was of the same mind, Your Majesty. Then, one Christmas Eve, despite all the warnings, I snuck into the dungeon.
And?
I heard a tortured moaning. Then I felt a chilling breeze. And then I ran.
I'm sorry, did this man just imply you could still go into the castle's dungeons? Are they functional? Are they decorative? There is no way the royals have the power to throw people in the dungeon anymore, right? I mean, they do have an unexplainable amount of power. We see Lynn and Simon sneak away from the party, acting hella suspicious, and Melissa follows them. Honestly, it's so obviously a red herring that it's kind of funny.
I think we deserve everything that's coming to us.
No one talks like this. They're clearly purposefully trying to misdirect the audience. We see Lynn leaving Simon's bedroom, and Melissa immediately goes in to confront him. Simon has a tiny jewelry box in his hand. I wonder what that could be.
Simon.
Melissa, I was,
His little dance trying to hide it is really adorable. Honestly, out of everyone in the entire movie, including the married couples, Simon is the only one who believably acts like he's in love. I hope he gets bigger roles after this. Simon admits that he and Lynn went on like 2 dates when they were in school, and honestly, it's kind of crappy. He should have admitted to it earlier, but this is like pretty much all it takes for Melissa to completely turn on him.
Amber was right about you.
Melissa pulls a piece of paper out of the trash that Lynn had thrown in there earlier that has something suspicious on it, and she goes to share what she knows with Richard and Amber. It has some information on it about like Aldovia's debt to Penglia. They come to a pretty whack conclusion.
Simon's helping Lynn for a piece of the action.
Selling out his own kingdom.
Even when Simon tried to steal the throne, it wasn't because he like wanted a bunch of money. It's because he genuinely thought that that was what would be best for Aldovia. And honestly, he might have been right. And with that, he becomes suspect number 1, but they need some hard proof.
We have a Malinois, a police dog arriving first thing. Once it sniffs out the treaty, we'll be able to make a move.
Why wait?
We have to have proof.
Real quick, I just want to go over our list of suspects. The wedding planners. Definitely not them. Their motivation made absolutely no sense. The Aldovian royal family. Absolutely not. They have nothing to gain and wouldn't want to risk cursing the royal baby. The Penglian royals. Also no. They stand to lose more than they stand to gain, and they clearly do not want to go to war. Melissa. No, she obviously genuinely suspects Simon. That leaves us with our 3 staff members. There's Lady who's obsessed with etiquette, there's the dude that believes in ghosts, and there's some other random guy. Etiquette Lady wouldn't make any sense because she would never risk a scandal. So it's one of the 2 dudes. It could be either, but I'm gonna lean towards Ghost Guy simply because he's getting more screen time. And now the dogs have arrived.
I grew up with this breed, Your Majesties. Their sense of smell is unsurpassed. The treaty will be sniffed out imminently.
While the police dogs are doing their job, they decide to give them some space, so they clear out of the castle and go to the Christmas market. While at the market, a bunch of peasants flock to Queen Amber and tell her how much they love her. Queen Ming sees this and realizes, I can be a woman and have opinions out loud and people can like me? We then get our second montage in this very short movie of Christmas market fun. Princess Emily's unnamed crush is there, and they kiss or whatever.
That was amazing.
That's it. Nothing else significant happens in this montage. Honestly, even that isn't significant. They legit have not said this dude's name once in this movie. And it's not like they didn't have enough time. I'm starting to think maybe no one knows it, and like Emily will fall in love with this dude and get married to him all without knowing his first name. Like she's sitting there on her wedding day, so excited because she's finally gonna learn her husband's name. Then the priest turns to the aforementioned young man and is like, do you? And as he's saying his name, like someone coughs over it, or there's like a loud sound, like in the scene in The Fairly Odd Parents, whenever Timmy's parents say their name, there's something that covers it up, like that basically. Then Emily realizes that was like the absolute last chance she had to learn his name. So now she'll have to like wait and hope that he dies before her so she can read his name on his tombstone. Anyways, Christmas montage, boring, nothing happens. Ming spots an archery booth and like, okay. It's just, that's not a normal thing to have at a Christmas market, and no one acknowledges that. This is a Christmas market. It's not the Ren Fair. They decide to have a little friendly archery competition, and the targets are snowmen, because why the hell not? Ming does a okay job. Then it's Amber's turn, and we're treated to this amazing scene.
Excuse me, Your Majesty's message from the palace regarding the treaty. The dog failed. The treaty remains lost.
What was that? Amber! She's fainted.
Okay, I know. I'm sorry for like laughing. I know a fainting pregnant woman is serious, but like, come on. They make it back to the castle, the doctor's on her way, but we have a problem. The airports are open again, and the Penglians want to leave so that they can spend Christmas with their children. The selfish bastards! We have an Aldovian group meeting to try to figure out what happened to the treaty.
Listen, something is nagging at me. Call it instinct.
I would call it common sense, but I'm not sure you have that.
If we are correct, and Simon and Lynn took the treaty and hid it,
you're not.
Why didn't the police dog find it?
Because you're wrong. And then...
What is it? What's wrong?
I don't know. Cramping. Cramping bad.
Does that mean...
I think so.
What is it?
Well, Richard, it probably means she had a bad burrito for... What do you think it means?
I'm going into labor.
Are you sure?
No, Richard, you're right. It's probably the bad burrito. We cut to a scene of the doctor with ominous music playing over it. There's definitely nothing that's gonna delay her in any way, shape, or form. Oops.
How far apart are the contractions? Close. Getting stronger.
All right, so it seems like she's about to give birth then. Wow, Amber's going into labor on Christmas Eve? Who would have guessed? Richard then gets a call from the doctor telling him that she is stuck in a snowbank. Queen Ming overhears this and makes a decision.
I used to volunteer at a maternity ward. I will help you through this. Tai, cancel our flight.
Of course.
Lynn! Thank you, Queen Ming.
Honestly, the scene kind of caught me off guard, and it might be like my absolute favorite thing that happened in this entire movie. I just loved the show of solidarity between two women, specifically between two mothers, like just dropping everything that she wanted to do in order to help the other woman in need. It's kind of beautiful. Not gonna lie, got me a little bit choked up. And then Richard makes this baffling decision.
I'll get Dr. McGraw.
Richard.
I'll be back with her as soon as I can.
Hey, bud, what are you doing? Your wife is going into labor. You don't want to check to see if, I don't know, literally anyone else knows how to ride a horse first? We haven't seen your servants, but I know for a fact they exist. You're definitely not mucking out your own stalls. Go ask the stable hand or something, maybe a party planner. Literally anyone else but you. We then see Richard on horseback going through the woods, and this happens.
Come on, boy. Come on. Yeah!
I was kind of excited for a second. I was like, oh my god, some tension, something scary. This is gonna be insane. And then this.
Not tonight. Come on.
Okay, literally, what was the point of that? I don't know why I'm surprised or complaining. The whole movie is full of moments like this. While Amber is still in labor, Emily tells her that she thinks the dungeon is haunted.
Please try not to worry needlessly.
Maybe it isn't needless. It could be real. After all, our dungeon is haunted.
Haunted?
Yes. Mr. Little even encountered it. The ghost of the thief who stole the treaty 200 years ago.
Emily, listen to me. I need you to do something for me right now.
Cool.
Why on earth did Amber want us to come down here?
She insists we search the furthest corner.
Okay, couple of things. Obviously, she sent them down there to look for the treaty, but they don't know that. Don't you think that's kind of pertinent information to give to the people you sent on a search? Also, you chose to send the oldest person there and the little girl with a physical disability? I doubt the castle elevators go down to the dungeon, you asshole. While looking around, the former queen and the little princess get themselves stuck.
It's locked.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
I got a couple of questions though. When was the last time you used these dungeons? It's clear no one's maintaining them. How is this door still functional? And more than that, how is the lock functional? And how is this an automatic lock? We cut to Richard finding the doctor. We can't have any real moments of actual danger here. Eventually we get back to the dungeon where there is literally a key to a cell on the wall. It's a movie, so I know everything's gonna work out, but how do you know it's a key to that cell? Who left it there? If you look at the key, you can tell it's super simple, which means that the lock is very simple and you could probably pick it yourselves. Emily decides to use one of her crutches to help them try to get the key.
You've got it. You got it. There you are. Good girl. Almost there. Lift it up. Emily, are you all right?
Literally when this happened, I said, thank God she had another crutch because now she can use the second crutch to get her first crutch and the key. And her fall conveniently revealed.
Yes, I'm fine.
The stone didn't hurt you. Look, in there. I can't believe it.
The missing treaty.
Great, now they have the treaty and they can use her other crutch to get the first one in the key and get out of...
It's useless. It's nearly midnight. It's over.
Or not. The doctor arrives, apparently with plenty of time to spare.
How far past are the contractions? Close. Getting stronger.
How far past your surges?
5 minutes, progressing steadily.
Thank you for being so attentive.
5 minutes apart is when you're supposed to leave to get to the hospital. They made it seem like the baby was gonna come at any second. Then it cuts back to the dungeon where our sorry two have decided to die down there since they forgot she has 2 crutches, I guess. They almost give up when they realize suddenly the queen knows how to pick a lock and she frees them. And you didn't do that in the first place because you like to watch your daughter fall down? After that, they make their triumphant return.
Where are they?
The treaty. We found the treaty.
What? Where?
In the dungeon.
Perfect. They made it back just in time. Now they have to sign the treaty immediately to make sure that there's no chance of the baby being cursed.
How did you know?
Amber solved the mystery.
I did. Come in, everyone. You all need to hear this.
I can't. Are you kidding me? She was on the verge of tears 2 seconds ago, and she switches from like this helpless little voice to, I did. Come in, everyone. Okay, Amber, we get it. You've seen the movie Clue. You don't have time for this.
Someone right here in this very room stole the treaty.
Tell us everything you know.
Well, apparently she doesn't care about the curse anymore, so I guess take your time, Amber. Amber reveals the true identity of the thief.
The scandal that followed the signing of the treaty resulted in the alleged poisoning of Prince Claude. His family swore vengeance, and a member of that family is in this room.
Go on.
Prince Claude's family name, Devon, was familiar to me, and tonight I remembered why. I'd read it in this book. Your mother's maiden name was Devon, wasn't it, Mr. Little?
Wow, shocking. Who could have guessed? Honestly, it's a little bit frustrating that the main thing she used to solve the mystery is something that we as the audience never had access to, but whatever.
You were the last one to lock up the treaty.
Okay, yeah, that tracks. Him being the last person to lock up the treaty isn't a real clue because he went back later that night to get it.
You kept the dog out of the dungeon.
That is not something we ever saw at any point, so I don't know where you got that information, but whatever, sure, we'll count it.
And you tried to keep Emily out of the dungeon with some made-up ghost story.
And I guess that one tracks. So 2 out of the 4 clues are something that we as the audience are never shown at any point whatsoever, and they just happen to be the most incriminating ones.
If you're guilty, Mr. Little, confess here and now.
Come on, Mr. Little, we're running out of runtime here. You gotta speed it up.
I did do it.
Wow, that was surprisingly easy. So what was your motivation for all this?
I had a duty. I fulfilled it.
Okay. That has got to be one of the weakest motivations I have ever heard.
You nearly started a war.
And could have cursed an innocent baby.
I didn't know about the curse until tonight. And I would never bring harm to your baby.
He seems more upset about cursing a baby than starting a war. This reveal was terribly unsatisfying.
Take Mr. Little to the Leopold suite.
At once.
Okay, great. The dude's arrested. Now we can sign the treaty because we're really running out of time.
Simon, I apologize for my behavior earlier.
Oh my God, shut up and sign the treaty.
Did you think we had our suspicions? Not you, too.
Wow, poor Simon. He just found out that the woman he loves doesn't trust him. What's he gonna do now?
I wanted to wait till tomorrow, but... Melissa, my love, although I'm undeserving of such an honor, will you marry me?
What the hell is going on? Is everyone crazy? No one reacts like a normal human being to anything. Furthermore, right now, Simon, right now, while someone is in the middle of giving birth? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. She said yes, so now let's hurry it up and...
Congratulations, Simon. Congratulations, Melissa. You could have done worse.
Oh, that's a ringing endorsement.
Don't let it get to your head.
I say roll type winner for your son. Perhaps Duke.
I accept.
I hate everyone.
This is such wonderful news. I'm so happy for you. But we're running out of time. It's nearly midnight. And there's a treaty to sign.
Oh, wow. Now you remember Amber? Man, oh man. If only someone hadn't spent so much time reenacting that accusation scene from Clue.
You made one fatal mistake. Sitting here at dinner, Mrs. Peacock told us that she was eating one of her favorite recipes.
Quickly.
Yes, we must allow the time for the queens to sign as well.
There's always time to make history. But not too much time.
I want to be clear here. You had the time, Amber. You really did. You had enough time to sign it and take a nap, but you wanted to play detective instead. Okay, so now they're gonna rush and do it as quickly as possible, right?
Your Majesty, King Tai, the visiting monarch signs first.
After you, my queen. You have made me and all of Penglia very proud.
We don't have time for this. This is the longest 10 minutes in existence.
At the hour of 11:59 on December the 24th, in the year 2019, I declare the truce and treaty between the kingdoms of Aldovia and Penglia executed, ratified, and renewed for the next 100 years.
She couldn't have sped through that either, huh? Okay. Honestly, I got a little bit nervous towards the end there. I was worried they were gonna pull a switcheroo like the Disney movie The Princess and the Frog. But no, of course, everything is happy and fine.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Literally none of you deserve this.
The royal baby is ready to make its entrance.
Uh-oh, it's labor time. And labor time is over. Same sheets and everything, somehow not stained by amniotic fluid or blood or placenta or anything else. I guess royals really do have it better. The last thing the movie really has to reveal is the baby's name and its biological sex, and they purposefully use gender-neutral language until the very last second, just kind of milking it for all it's worth.
The healthy, beautiful baby. Thank goodness.
Well done, Amber.
Queen Amber, King Richard, may I present to you the future monarch of Aldovia, your daughter.
Richard immediately shares the news with everyone waiting outside. Wow, Emily, congratulations. And if it had been up to you, she also would have been named after medieval fantasy Hitler.
Girl, did I just hear I have a granddaughter?
See what I mean? Totally useless character. Honestly, I had forgotten he even exists. Of course, all of Amber's makeup is still perfectly on, just looks like she went a little crazy with the highlighter. We finally get to hear the baby's name.
Meet your granddaughter, Ellery.
It's fine. Honestly, they made such a big deal about it in the beginning, and then it's never brought up again, so the reveal was pretty anticlimactic, and I found at that point I didn't even care. Then Ming has a final touching moment with Amber where she gives her a friendship necklace.
A Penglian symbol of mother's nurturing strength.
I mean a sacred symbol of motherhood to her people. They promise to keep in contact and have one last nice moment.
You are going to be a wonderful mother. Thank you.
Then we see Ellery's birth being announced to the public. We have this last scene in front of the crowd that I really thought was going to be the last shot of the movie. Then it abruptly cuts to Amber writing in her blog again.
I want to thank you all, my loyal readers.
It's almost like the movie forgot that she was supposed to be a blogger since she didn't use that skill whatsoever throughout the entire thing and just tacked on the scene at the beginning and a scene at the end. Okay, Amber, it's your last chance to wow us with your writing. Give us what you got.
For sharing this amazing journey with me. I couldn't be more grateful. On behalf of Richard, myself, Ellery, and the royal family of Aldovia, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Okay. I expected nothing and I'm still disappointed. And that is it. Honestly, I am so sick of this movie. Like I said at the beginning, I have never done a video like this. I didn't realize how long filming would take, how often I would have to rewatch bits and pieces of the movie itself. It's Christmas time. I want to go be with my family now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts. Would you like to see me review more movies? Do you have any suggestions for movies you'd like to see me review? Any suggestions on how I can improve this video format? Did you watch A Christmas Prince? What did you think of it? Etc, etc. Share everything in the comment section below. This is my last video coming out before Christmas, and because of that, it is the perfect opportunity for me to say thank you. I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I hope that you know that. I'm gonna cut myself off before I get too sappy, so I'll just end with this. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. A Merry Christmas, a Happy Candle Nights, and Happy Holidays to all of you. I'll have another video out very, very soon, so I will see you then.